Listen up. The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed in this podcast belong solely to the podcast participants, and not to any participant's employer, organization, committee, or other group or individual. This podcast is for entertainment purposes only. You know, for fun. So lighten up and enjoy. Stomping Jen.
For fun, you say?
Yeah, it's been a while since we've done this. We've been off. It's been like over 2.5 weeks since we sat down at this board and recorded anything.
You feel rusty?
I felt a little rusty. I didn't know what to do. This is our Rollickin' New Year's show.
Rollickin'?
2022 is here, baby. So far, it's off.
Exciting.
No, so far it's off to a shitty start. Let's tell people why after the intro music.
Okay.
The Soft Serve Podcast. Creamy, delicious ideas without the creepy truck. Stomping Jen, we have COVID-19.
Oh my god.
The Omicron variant.
You're singing
We
that?
caught it on a cruise. We were stupid to go on a cruise. We got what we deserved. Sore throats. Coughing.
Only you.
Yeah, it was only me. Well, I said it. I told people why the year is off to a bad start, Stomping Jen. We got the Rona.
The Rona.
Finally got the Rona.
We avoided it.
Confirmed
By a
by
rapid test.
rapid antigen test and by our circumstances.
Our circumstances.
Yeah. What did we decide to do over the Christmas and New Year and over the Christmas
What?
holiday?
Huh?
What did we decide to do over
We went
Christmas?
away.
Where did we go?
We went to lovely Miami.
We started off by going to Florida. What's happening in Florida right now?
I think the cases are at 950% increase.
Increase, right.
Increase. 950%.
We went to Florida at the worst possible time a person could go to
Who
Florida.
would have thunk that when we booked all of this, as this was the cruise we were supposed to go on last April.
I would have thunk it. I was complaining the entire time before going, saying we shouldn't go. This is not a good idea.
Yeah, I know.
We're gonna get the Rona.
Well, you know what?
We got the Rona.
We got the Rona. What
Yeah.
can you do? I don't know. Like, what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to, we're fully vaccinated. We're boosted. We made sure that
They
all
told us
the
we were
kids-
going to be safe if we
You
were
know,
vaccinated.
We followed all the protocols. I got
Yeah.
the N95 masks.
They do nothing. The masks do nothing, Stomping Jen.
I think this is just a highly contagious variant. And we got...
You don't have to think it. That's been confirmed by science.
I mean, but, you know, as it started gathering steam about 2 weeks before we were supposed to leave, like what we were supposed to do, I don't know. We went on the cruise. We had a good time.
Well, we were supposed to cancel our plans and stay home.
No, I think we had a solid B plus, I would say, time. Wouldn't you say it? We had some good times.
There were some good times
Some good times.
when I wasn't panicking about the Rona. But let's back up.
Yeah.
Our vacation started when? It was a couple days before Christmas. 2 days before Christmas, we flew down to Miami.
No, it was like 4 days before Christmas.
4 days before Christmas, we flew down to Miami, and I knew we were off to a bad start.
Why?
There's a woman sitting next to me on the plane.
I totally forgot about her.
Yeah, we sat down. Ted was sitting next to me. He had the window seat. I was in the middle, and I was next to some horrible woman. I'm assuming they were a woman. And they were looking at their phone, and I could see on their phone all sorts of conservative news stuff. Right? They had a conservative news feed in their email. They were looking at OAN News, Newsmax.
Why were you spying on this one?
That's what I do. I'm very
nosy.
Extremely nosy person. Extremely nosy.
Yeah, but that's not what her problem was. She wasn't an anti-masker.
She sits down, right, and they haven't even booted up. We were on JetBlue, so they have pretty good TV service. She sits down. She starts smashing on the screen with her finger before the TV screen is even activated.
Now, I was going to say, like, everybody who flies knows that it's really not until you're up in the air that they really activate those televisions to allow you to watch movies or television.
Yeah, so she's sitting next to me. She's smashing on the screen with her finger.
We haven't even gotten to the runway.
Going, the TV won't work. She starts hitting the flight attendant bell over and over again. Right? Calls him over. She goes, my TV won't work. The only reason I picked JetBlue was because of the TV.
Did she cough on you while she was complaining?
Yeah, she's
Maybe
like,
she's the one who gave you the Rona.
I want to watch my programs. Right? And she's sitting there, like, huffing and puffing and smashing on the TV screen with her sweaty finger. Right? And then she pulls out a giant bag of candy. Right? Like a Ziploc bag full of candy.
What kind of candy?
It was like chocolate.
She offered to share?
No. She starts taking out pieces of chocolate and eating them. And so she's got half-eaten pieces of chocolate all over her tray. The sack of candy. And then she pulls out a fucking half-eaten ham sandwich. She starts eating the ham sandwich.
Yeah.
And taking bites of chocolate and smashing on the TV screen with her finger.
Chocolatey ham?
Yeah. And like right before we take off, she hits the flight attendant bell again. And she's like, the TV's not working. You said you were going to reset it.
In the meantime, they reset the TVs like 3 times.
Yeah, and he's like, ma'am, the flight wasn't full, right? So he's like, ma'am, there's an empty seat up here. Maybe the TV will work. You want to move? She's like, yes, I want to move. I came on the JetBlue for the TV, the programs. So he moves her. Thank God. She packs up her fucking ham sandwich, right? Sticks it back in the bag, sticks the half-eaten pieces of chocolate back in the bag, and packs up all her shit and goes up to the front. Meanwhile, the TVs still aren't working, so I see her 3 rows up smashing on the screen with her finger. The whole flight.
Ay.
Huffing and puffing.
Fun times.
Yeah. That's when I knew it wasn't off to a good start. So then we get down to Miami, right? Mm-hmm. The flight itself was fairly uneventful. Once we got up in the air, we got down to Miami, and we had 2 days to spend in Miami. Mm-hmm. Now, we had to get tested immediately, right? So we could get on this cruise ship, because you need a negative test.
Right. They told us that there was testing in the parking lot at the hotel.
Right. So we do this testing in the parking lot, and we were in the area of Miami where most people don't speak any English. Mm-hmm. And we're trying to communicate with this lovely male nurse who's doing the testing, but he doesn't speak English. We don't speak Spanish.
I speak a little.
A little, but not enough. So he had to pull out the Google Translator app, right?
True. Mm-hmm.
And so we're communicating through Translator.
We figured it out.
Spitting in tubes.
We figured it out.
And meanwhile, the
most sterile COVID test I've ever taken in the parking lot of a Miami Holiday Inn.
The line's growing behind us. Mm-hmm. You know, it's just chaos is growing. Mm-hmm. And this is before the Omicron variant exploded.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? We're starting to get like whiffs of it in the news media that it was going to be a problem, but it hadn't exploded yet.
It had not yet exploded.
And we had submitted a test earlier that morning that we flew
early in the morning
through a local testing center here. So we had these 2 tests kind of going up in the air, right? The idea was we were going to test.
We had to get tested before getting on a cruise ship because it's one of the requirements is that you need to have a test within 48 hours of departure.
Yeah, so
we were following the rules, and everybody was supposed to be vaccinated on the cruise. So they were taking proper protocols much as they could.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
We followed all the rules. We still ended up getting the Rona, but that'll come later. So we get the tests done. They come back negative, and then we have 2 days to spend in Miami.
Well, one full day, and then the next day after that.
Now, this hotel you picked couldn't have been worse.
It was a horrible hotel.
It was like on an island in the middle of 4 highways. You couldn't.
Pretty terrible. I didn't know. I thought it was like downtown Miami. I had no idea.
It was the Miami Hilton, right?
It was like the Holiday Inn at the airport. Except I also thought being at the airport, there would be things around us, but it wasn't. We had to drive. It was not like you couldn't walk from the airport. You had to
Thank God for Uber Eats.
Yeah, we discovered Uber Eats down in Miami, which is the most amazing service ever created.
This Uber Eats saved us.
It was amazing.
Right? So we were able every morning that we were in this god-awful hotel.
Well, the first night we were there, and after we got settled and tested and whatever, and I go down to the concierge to ask them, like, where we could go for a family meal. And the guy was like, he looks at me, he's just like, oh, you should go to South Beach. I'm like, I'm not going to Southie with my kids.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, no, why not? I'm like, no.
What's your fucking problem?
We're not to Party Central.
We're not South Beach type of people, mister. Meanwhile, I begin to get worried because this is Florida. There's no mask mandate. No vaccine mandates. People are walking around without masks. And you know how it is. Where we're from here, up in the Northeast, Massachusetts, everyone's wearing masks. Mostly.
Well.
I mean, for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
There are some people who are anti-mask and make an issue of it. But down there, nobody is. And you don't dare say anything or look at anybody wrong because it's one of those states where people can carry handguns without licenses and they can shoot you if they feel threatened. So I said nothing.
Anyways.
Somebody walked up to me with a mask and just smiled. Said, how you doing? I'm enjoying seeing your face. Ma'am, please don't shoot me.
What?
Yeah.
Anyways.
So then we went.
Well, the plan was.
I don't care what the plan was. You dragged us down to this place in Miami called Wynwood Walls.
Well, I didn't drag you.
No. Listen, anytime you're taking me somewhere where there are tons of people congregating during a pandemic, you're dragging me. I don't want to be there. You know that.
Boy.
You dragged me. Let's face it.
You were a good sport.
I didn't say I wasn't a good sport, but you still dragged me. And we go there and we're walking around Miami, looking at murals.
We had such a good time.
We saw a cousin of yours, right?
Mm-hmm.
A first cousin of yours. It was nice to see her.
Mm-hmm.
She drove us around and we did stuff with her and hung out with her. That was fun.
Yeah. We had dinner with my aunt and uncle.
We had dinner with your aunt and uncle. Your uncle appeared to be some kind of raging liberal I got along with pretty well.
Yeah.
We were yelling and screaming about fascists all night while we were eating our salads. That was fun.
Yeah.
Then we got on this cruise, right?
Yeah.
We met up with your father and his lady friend. We got to give her a name. What do we call her?
Did my father get a name?
Did he?
I don't know. My brother?
No.
Anyways,
they don't have any
we went on a
names.
family cruise.
Yeah, well, your dad and we went on a family cruise. minus one important part of your family.
Yeah.
Your sister and her
whole family.
Now, we were like, we'll just take an Uber to the port. This is going to be fine, right?
Yeah.
It's, our hotel is near the port. How could this possibly go wrong?
Yeah.
Our Uber driver shows up seems to know where he's going. Then we get down to the port area, and he has no fucking idea which ship is ours or where to drop us.
He also did not speak any English.
Didn't speak a lick of English.
Poor Space Unicorn was like, does anybody speak English in Florida? What?
I don't know how to answer that question.
Well, where we were, there was a lot of people who did not.
Yeah, I mean, where we were, there's a lot of people who didn't. So,
anyways,
so in this Uber driver is getting lost. He circles around the port. He's about to get back on the highway and take us back. But
you're not even like adequately explaining. The port is full of giant cruise ships. Like it's huge.
But the point is, he should have known where the Royal Caribbean port was.
Yes.
He's a fucking Uber driver in Miami.
Right. And he just like looked at us and was like, no say.
Yeah.
And we're
then
like, no say.
He starts driving and he's about to head back out onto the highway and take us back over some kind of bridge. And I was just like, stop.
You did insist that he let us out in the middle of the highway.
I screamed at him, just let us out. So we jump out of the car.
And we had no idea where we were.
I grabbed all of our luggage. I hurt my back, which ended up plaguing me for the next 5 days. And then I gave him 1 star and no tip. Was that the wrong thing to do?
We've talked about this.
Well, I made a report within the Uber app.
Yeah. I mean, he should have been more helpful.
You bring us to the wrong location and then refuse to communicate with us. I mean, the nurse pulled out the Google Translate app. He tried.
It's true.
This Uber driver didn't even try. He just yelled no say at us and was going to take us back into Miami.
He did say Lo Siento.
What's that mean?
I'm sorry.
Oh, did he?
Yes.
I didn't know that. I would have given him 2 stars if I knew. On.
Anyways.
You should have translated that for me.
He called my father in a panic. Like, we have no...
I thought Lo Siento meant fuck you or something.
No fucking clue where we are in the middle of this port. Obviously
right.
in the wrong terminal because there's no Royal Caribbean ships.
So your dad comes and gets us, picks us up.
Yes.
And takes us to the Royal Caribbean port.
Yes.
All right, so we get to our ship. It was called, what, the Symphony of the Seas?
It's a big
Yeah,
ship.
Biggest ship I've ever seen.
It's huge.
It's now, but we get on this thing, right? And
so if you've never been on a cruise ship...
Go ahead.
What happens is it's like a day-long process. They like let you slowly get on the ship and, likely they have just let off a whole bunch of other people from the last cruise. So they're like vigorously cleaning everything to get it ready for the new people who come on the cruise before the ship takes off for the day. So the thing to do and the thing that everybody wanted to do was get on the ship and get lunch.
Right, at this cafe called the Windjammer.
Yeah. Welcome to Windjammer.
Right, and I'll say, I mean, I do want to say in Royal Caribbean's favor, they really tried to follow protocols.
They had very strict protocols. Every time you walked in a room.
Everybody was double masked for the most part. Like
the crew members.
The crew members, everyone who worked there, all of the people... on the cruise, if you were in an inside space, were following the mask mandate. There was a mask mandate for any public indoor space.
They would yell at you. The crew members would come up to you and tell you to put your mask on properly.
There were people walking around with buckets of sanitizer and sanitizing anything that was touched.
Every time you literally walked into a indoor space, there was hand sanitizers, and they would say to you, please sanitize.
Yeah, so I am going to give them one of these for at least attempting strict protocols, because they really did try, and there was a culture of at least trying to not get COVID.
I mean, I think that this Omicron, I think that it has turned out to be so highly contagious. There was no stopping it, no matter what, because it basically defied all of the CDC requirements and guidelines.
Yeah, I mean, it skirted its way around every single protocol that was in place.
Right.
But, so when did our cruise left on a Thursday?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Thursday before Christmas. So we get on there. The cruise leaves, and our first day was that Friday. Thursday.
Oh, their first full day was Friday.
Hold on, I'm gonna cough. I'm gonna mute my mic.
Oh my goodness. Jesus.
I got picked up on yours. You're welcome, listeners. So our first full day was at this private island.
Yes.
Right? That Royal Caribbean owns, called Coco Cay.
Coco Cay.
And it was actually a really nice day.
And we had a perfect day at Coco Cay.
Their kind of tagline is "You will have a perfect day at Coco Cay."
Yes, so, they have big signs. They have a song that they made.
Yeah, so we get there, we get in all of our swimming gear, all of that stuff.
We had prepaid for
the water park with all of the slides.
Yeah.
And there's some fucking enormous slides there. Now, I didn't go on any slides, but I walked around the island, walked around the beaches. I went to a lagoon. I always wanted to go to a lagoon. I went to one. And I saw your father sitting there in a chair by the lagoon, and he yelled at me.
What are you yelling?
What are you doing? I said, I'm walking through this lagoon here. And he goes, is there a cat meowing?
There is a cat
Where
meowing.
is it?
I can't tell if it's inside or out.
Hold on, let me check.
I don't see him.
Outside, trying to get in here. He's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm just strolling around this lagoon. He goes, we're gonna eat lunch soon. He goes at the Chill Grill.
There's a lot of food.
Yeah, there was a giant grilling place called the Chill Grill.
Chill Grill.
So he told me we were gonna eat lunch there, and we had to meet them there in half an hour. So I finished my stroll through the lagoon and went back to find you. I tell you, we had to meet your dad at the Chill Grill.
Chill Grill.
We did that, and then I went swimming in the ocean.
We saw a stingray.
With Space Unicorn.
I was there.
You didn't swim out as far as we did.
No, I did not.
We swam out over our heads, and we're swimming around. That was fun. So I had a nice day there at this.
I went on the water rides.
At this Coco Cay. But Space Unicorn had an incident in the wave pool.
Oh, yeah. Forgot about that.
Space Unicorn had to be rescued by a lifeguard.
He kicked her out.
Yeah, he kicked them out of the wave pool. He's like, get out of here. You can't be in here.
You're done. You're done.
You're done. You can't handle yourself in these waves.
You're done.
So,
we had a really good time, though.
That was a nice day.
We had a perfect day, I would say.
Yeah, then we got back on the ship, the Symphony of the Seas, and we set sail again.
Oh, the kids found lots of friends.
Yeah, well, they had a place on the ship called the Living Room that opened up at 8.
It was only for teens.
It was for 12 to 17-year-olds, and we told these kids, you're not going to be hanging around with us.
Yeah, you better go make some friends.
Ted and Space Unicorn. We're going to take you here this first night, and you're going to make some friends. And they did.
They did. They totally did.
They each found a pack to roam the ship with.
It's true.
And got them out of our hair.
We barely saw them.
But I think they had a good time.
No, they really had a good time.
So we accomplished our goal there and offloaded the kids. And then
our second port day.
Well, you're forgetting. We saw a show, a comedy show.
Oh, was that the first night?
I don't know what night it is. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to lose track. We're not going to keep track of the nights here. We're just going to hit the major beats of what happened. Sorry, because at some point we got COVID and I lost all time because of this COVID brain fog I have now.
Oh, yeah, the COVID brain fog.
I can't keep anything straight. But we saw these two comedians, Greg Murphy and Rick Corso. They did a comedy show. They had a lot of cruise jokes. Now, I gather these two fellas ride around on cruise ships and tell jokes. What do you think about that?
Probably.
Yeah, because they have cruising jokes.
Cruising jokes?
They had very specific jokes about the food, about the people who work there, about the Windjammer Cafe. See, they had some material.
Windjammer.
They also had other jokes, too. They were good.
Oh, yeah.
They were funny. And after, I was talking to one of the comedians and kind of, trying to butter him up a bit. Maybe ask him to come on the podcast or something. And then your dad comes walking over. And he's like, you're telling a joke about cats. They have cats. He immediately starts in with this comedian. Telling him about the cats. This fucking cat's gonna drive me crazy. Should I let him in here?
I don't know why he's crying outside the door.
Yeah, he's been... hold on, you talk.
What do you want me to say?
Talk about the Bahamas. What came next?
Oh, boy. What is there to say about the Bahamas? The Bahamas is an interesting place. We went to Nassau. This was our second time in Nassau. We had previously been to Nassau, so it was not a stop we were looking forward to going on. Last time we were there, we were not that impressed.
Gonna have to ignore that cat. He won't come in.
That's fine. Anyways, we all got off the ship. And Space Unicorn was complaining.
Yeah, this was the first indication that something might be wrong with us physically. Like the very first indications of COVID. Space Unicorn's like, I don't feel good. And we were like, tough it up. Quit complaining. Stop being a baby.
Yeah, because it was hot. And,
right, so... Yeah, so...
And they had been up till like 11 the previous night.
So we get off of the ship and we're on the island there in Nassau in the Bahamas. And immediately some guy offers me cocaine and marijuana.
They're in your face.
Yeah.
They're trying to make a buck.
Trying to make a buck by selling the cocaine.
And Cuban cigars. That was the other thing.
And Space Unicorn was dragging, and they were just like, I don't want to go any further. It's too hot. It's too sunny. Blah, blah, blah. And finally, I was like, you know what? I'm done listening to you complain. I don't like the sun. This is a good excuse for me to get the fuck out of here. Mm-hmm. So I said to you, Stomping Jen, I'm going to take Space Unicorn back to the ship. And so... taking Space Unicorn back to the ship, get them back there, and then I realize they might be really sick.
Yeah.
Because they had a fever. It's like, what could cause a fever?
I don't know. What could cause a fever?
Right? And then begin to realize, and then Space Unicorn is complaining about their throat.
Their sore throat, yeah.
Like, my throat really hurts. It feels like somebody's pouring acid in my throat. I was like, oh, no. Right? That's an upper respiratory infection. It's like it's the fucking Omicron. Omicron got us. And so then Space Unicorn, the next day and a half, I had to be Space Unicorn's nurse. I was running down to Deck 5 to get Space Unicorn pizza, drinks, and they just laid there on their little bed for a day and a half. But I guess eventually they started...
no, they were like fine after a day.
Yeah, they started playing better, right?
Yeah. So we were like, oh, you're fine.
Yeah.
You're fine. Go off. Have a good time.
Off. But then I started getting sick.
Yeah. I'm like, the problem is like, you didn't know, right? Because it could have been anything. Could have been dehydrated.
Could have been allergies.
Could have been allergies. We were in a foreign country. We were on a ship.
That's what I kept telling myself. It's allergies.
Or maybe we weren't drinking enough water.
And I'm going to be honest. You might hate me after hearing this. I knew full and well it was COVID. Okay? But I want to tell you something. They were keeping everybody who called the doctor and got tested and tested positive, they were keeping them, in my opinion, they were keeping them prisoner down on Deck 3. They wouldn't let those people leave. They were
in quarantine.
In quarantine. I wasn't going to do that for over a week. And reports that I have read online about being in quarantine on that cruise ship are not flattering. I feel I made the right decision because everybody on that ship was coughing and sneezing, and nothing could have prevented it.
It was basically, what did you call it? Chicken pox party.
A chicken pox party on a cruise ship, basically. Yeah.
We were supposed to go to Puerto Rico, and like right before we got to Puerto Rico, they changed Puerto Rico itself, like changed their requirements.
Yeah.
For getting off the ship, so we were not allowed off the ship.
Yeah, and
in Puerto Rico.
Meanwhile, I had the internet, so I could post stuff for the podcast. That was what I said to you.
Yeah.
But I started reading news articles.
Yeah, you started spiraling.
Because as soon as we got on the ship, this Omicron thing started exploding. Exponentially. And like we're trapped out at sea. And they're talking about, how unsafe it is to travel. And, while we're on the ship, the CDC declared cruising the most dangerous form of travel that you can do. And they recommended against it.
Yeah.
And then they started canceling flights like a couple days before, like around Christmas, a couple days before we were due to get back on New Year's Eve. And I'm just like, oh, fuck, we're never going to get home. We'll be fucking trapped in Florida.
Yeah, you were upset.
Right? At some point. And then I'm messaging with my friends, right? These two groups of friends I have, and they're all, basically telling me what a horrible decision I made to go on this trip.
Way to be supportive, friends.
What an asshole I am, and how I'm going to die, and
way to be supportive.
How I'm never going to get home. Finally, I wrote to them both.
Thanks, friends.
I wrote to them both and said, you know what? I can't read your messages anymore. I'm going to have a nervous breakdown.
You were going to have a nervous breakdown?
I muted both of their conversations, and I said, I'll talk to you when I get back. And I did not talk to them until I was on the plane.
So remember before the cruise, and I said, I do not want the internet.
I can't remember that because of COVID brain fog.
Yeah. Okay.
Did you say that?
Yeah.
But I also...
The whole point of being on vacation...
I wanted to advertise an important podcast episode.
Fucking know what's happening in the world on purpose.
Okay, but I think it was important for us to know.
Anyways.
That the world was melting down around us.
It was irrelevant because we were on a cruise ship in the middle of, the ocean with the sun and the ocean and the water, and I read books, and it was glorious.
I read books too.
Mm-hmm. It was glorious.
Except for dealing with me.
It was warm.
Right.
There was nothing to do on the ship because all the entertainers were in quarantine.
Yeah. Except for Craig Murphy and Rick Corso.
Yeah. Oh, we did go to an ice skating show.
That was fun.
Which was one of the highlights.
Yeah. Didn't we see somebody else? Some other entertainer?
There was a juggler.
A juggler.
What
was that guy's name?
I cannot remember.
I messaged
Chris
him.
Peacock or something.
Oh, yeah. Chris Peacock. So we see this juggler, and he's up there. Listen, if you're listening to this Peacock, we see him up there. He's acting all friendly and nice. And he's like, oh, yeah, he's got his Instagram up there. And he's like, yeah, tag me on Instagram, blah, 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 that kind of shit. So I send him a message after the show. I'm like, hey, just saw your show on the, Royal Caribbean ship. It was really good. Maybe you want to come on and on the podcast and talk to us. He read the message. He never replied.
Oh, he was also busy on a cruise ship, being the only entertainer not in quarantine.
I saw Peacock walking around several times.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you?
So, thanks, Peacock.
Anyways.
I guess you're too big of a juggler to talk to a little podcast like ours.
Anyways.
Or to even say, thank you. This is for you, Peacock.
Anyways, the ice skinning was awesome.
You know what I'm going to do
What?
in post-production? I'm going to edit in the sound of a peacock every time I've said peacock in this conversation. Can we just say peacock a few more times?
No.
Peacock.
What was your favorite thing about the cruise? When
Pe-
you were not having an existential crisis?
My favorite part of the cruise was peacock.
Oh, no, seriously.
Okay, seriously, oh, God. Walking around. I really enjoyed
You were
walking.
obsessed with walking around.
I know, I liked walking a lot. I got to walk. They have a really nice track. I went up on the deck. I looked for unidentified aerial phenomenon, UAP, or UFOs. Some of you may know them as. That was fun. Just spending time with you guys, having dinner every night.
Yeah.
Was awesome.
Yeah, we would go 5:30. We would leave there like 7:30.
Yeah, having these
8
long
o'clock.
2-hour dinners and just hanging out.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed that day at Coco Cay.
That was really fun.
It was a perfect day.
It was a perfect day at Coco Cay.
That was nice. Yeah, I mean, I have to say, I really like cruising.
Yeah, when it's not a pandemic.
And even with the fucking high anxiety I was under, I sort of enjoyed myself.
Yeah.
I read 2 books.
Yeah.
So...
We'll have to go back during precedented times.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I'm only ever going to go on another one if it doesn't involve flying to or from. I don't want to, and especially if there's this fucking pandemic still going on.
Well, I did find a nice cruise out of Boston that goes to Puerto Rico.
But you have to fly back.
No. From Puerto Rico? No, it goes back to Boston.
Oh, it does?
Yeah.
Book it!
It's a closed loop.
Book it, baby.
I'm pretty sure. It wouldn't just drop you off in Puerto Rico and you have to fly back.
It wouldn't?
No.
All right, book it. Is it Royal Caribbean?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
I'm
So,
going to wait for the pandemic to be over, though. My God, why do you even bother?
because it's less obnoxious if I mute my mic.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so other than that, it was a good time. We got home.
Yeah.
I love walking into the house and smelling my air fresheners after being away from them for so long. Do you like that sensation? You don't like that?
No.
That was the first thing I noticed.
You're so funny.
Yeah.
No, we were just excited to see the dog.
The dog was super excited.
She did like 20 minutes straight of laps between every person.
Yeah. So...
Even the cats were happy to see us.
Yeah, we got back on New Year's Eve. Right?
Right.
New Year's Eve. So, what did we do? We didn't do anything for New Year's, did we?
No. We tried to get Chinese food, but they wouldn't even take our order.
No, they wouldn't. They were too busy.
They were too busy.
So we don't have any. Some people have New Year's traditions.
We do have New Year's
What?
tradition. We like to watch the ball drop
Oh, we do?
on the TV.
Oh, yeah.
On the
We
boob
watched,
tube.
you wanted to watch this Miley Cyrus.
I do like Miley Cyrus.
It wasn't very good.
No, she did lose her top.
Forget that. She has no, in my opinion, she doesn't have an engaging personality.
She was singing half the time.
Okay, but she's not a good host. She's not interesting.
We didn't even watch the whole thing. It's the problem with these like New Year's Eve specials is like every 5 seconds it's a commercial. What's all this stuff you have in your hand?
Well, watching the ball drop is not much of a... I have notes here. Watching the ball drop is not much of a tradition.
What kind of notes do you have?
You see, now there are countries around the world that have interesting traditions. I'm going to read you some of them, okay? Spain.
Yeah.
Do you know what Spain does on New Year's Eve?
Running of the bulls.
No. They eat 12 grapes
What?
at the stroke of midnight.
12?
12 grapes.
Do they go like 12, 11, 10, 9?
At each strike on the clock of midnight, you eat a grape.
Like bong,
Yeah.
bong.
You could choke if you're not
Bong.
careful. Right?
Oh my god.
Colombia. Do you know what they do in Colombia?
No.
They carry empty suitcases around the block.
Why?
I don't know. Doesn't say why in my notes here. This is from World Strides. Educational travel and experiences.
Okay.
That's where I got this from. Denmark. Do you know what they do?
Nope.
They throw old plates and glasses against the door of family and friends.
Huh.
That's interesting.
Interesting.
Finland.
Nope.
They predict the coming year by casting molten tin into a container of water. That seems dangerous.
How do they have ovens hot enough?
I don't fucking know. Panama. To drive off evil spirits, they burn effigies
Great.
of well-known people. In Scotland, they do first footing.
What is that?
I think we read about this in our Christmas special. First person who crosses a threshold gets good luck. So I guess they compete to get across a threshold.
Like a race?
Maybe. In the Philippines, they put up round shapes.
Okay.
Yeah. Grapes being the most common, apparently. Grapes, I'm seeing a theme here. In Brazil, let's see, what do? They wear special underwear. Underwear again.
Underwear.
On our Christmas Spectacular, there was an underwear theme, remember? We talked about red underwear.
Mm.
Well, that's the most popular color in Brazil for New Year's. Red underwear.
Okay.
In Greece, the last one, they hang an onion on the front door. And then,
ward off the vampires?
then parents hit the kids on the head with the onion.
Okay.
I don't know why.
Alrighty.
Those are some traditions
Interesting.
from around the world.
Okay.
See, we're here to educate people.
Excellent. Thank
Okay.
you. Thank you. I feel more knowledgeable now.
Another thing people do on New Year's is make resolutions.
Oh, do you have a resolution list?
Yeah, first, I'm going to read you my resolutions, but first I wanted to tell you what the top 10 most common resolutions are.
Lose weight.
This is from a website called Statista. Statista. It rhymes with barista.
Okay.
Or is it Statista? Statistics? Do you say statistics? Statistics?
I don't know.
Do you study statistics?
Okay. All right. Come on.
All right. People want to improve their diet.
Diet.
Mm-hmm. They want to pursue a career ambition. They resolve to spend more time with family and less time on social media.
Mm-hmm.
Take up a new hobby.
Mm-hmm.
Should I take up a new hobby?
No.
It's not one of my resolutions. Doing charity work. Quitting smoking. Decorating or renovating a home. Who resolves to do that?
Not me.
I wouldn't do that. Raise money. Did I say that already? Raise money for charity?
No.
Cutting down on drinking.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Dry January is a big thing.
Yeah. I don't like Dry January. It's a copy of Sober October.
I never heard of either. I mean, I've heard of Dry January, but never Sober October.
Quitting drinking entirely. I did that, Stomping Jen. And then people resolve to do something else that they didn't disclose to Statista.
Okay.
I wonder what that something else could be.
I don't know what's on your list.
Do you want to know?
Yeah.
More sex.
Okay.
I'm resolving.
Glad you'd resolve that. Who are you going to have more sex with?
Crickets.
Crickets? You're going to have sex with crickets? Okay.
Yeah, crickets. No, that's not one of my... I'm going to read you my resolutions. I actually came up with a list.
Oh, okay.
These are real, by the way. They're not a joke. Okay, I sat down before we did this.
Do you have any paper?
Do you have any resolutions?
No.
Excuse me, I didn't mute my mic that time.
There he goes.
Okay, here are my 2022 resolutions. Are you ready?
Yep.
Not to go up a pant size.
Okay.
I resolve not to let that happen.
Great.
Okay? So far, I'm failing that battle. I'm at the upper limits of my current pant size. Something has to be done, Stomping Jen.
Okay. The first cruise we ever went on after we got back, you resolved to be off of bread.
How did that work out?
I don't know. You did that for a long, long time.
Well, I'm on bread. Didn't last.
That was years ago.
All right, not going up a pant size.
Okay.
I resolved to drink more water.
Okay. I don't see how that's possible, but go ahead.
Spend less time on Facebook.
Okay.
I only want to use Facebook to promote the podcast. I feel it's a necessary evil. I resolved this year to care less about people.
How is that even possible for you to care less?
It's possible,
about
baby.
People.
It's possible. And not care less about what people think. I want to care less about people in general.
Okay.
I spend too much time caring about people.
Okay.
I'm going to narrow the focus of the amount of people I care about. I think it will benefit if you're in that circle.
Right.
If you make the cut, you're going to benefit from this.
I hope I make the cut. I really want to benefit from that.
Well, keep my more sex resolution in mind and you'll be fine. I want to have more lucid dreams.
How does that happen?
I don't know. I resolve to make it happen.
Okay.
There are techniques you can study and implement.
Are you going to float more?
Oh, yeah. Floating. We have an episode on float tanks coming up soon with Go With The Float from East Hampton.
I got an offer for half off a float.
Yeah, I got that too. I need to go back. I want to become a guest on more podcasts and radio shows. I might have something in the works there. Possibly. Potentially could be a guest on a radio show. We'll see how that works out. Probably won't, though, knowing my luck. I resolve to catch more mice.
Are you keeping track?
Yes.
Okay.
I've not caught as many mice as I want to catch this year.
Okay.
I have plans on how to improve my mouse catching.
Okay.
I'm going to implement various different types of traps.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah. I'm going to write another rap song.
Oh, God.
Do you remember the rap song I wrote?
Uh-huh.
In case you don't remember.
I'm
going to give you a little sample. Yeah, a little sample. Okay? If you remember it. I don't think you remember it. You said you did, but...
I remember it. I remember it well.
I'm not sure you did. So let me find it here. Here we go. I'm going to play a little of it. Here we go. For your enjoyment.
Ho, ho, ho! Merry
I'm surprised you don't like this more.
It's young, creamy Sawtooth. This song is dedicated to kids of all ages who didn't have a good time on Christmas.
Just the chorus.
Who hid
Listen
in
to
the
the
closet
chorus.
and hid in their bedrooms.
No.
It's
Old creamy
good.
Sawtooth knows what you went through.
Merry Christmas!
What's so merry about Christmas? It's a time of pain and fear. Nothing
You're not-
good never happens on Christmas. Full of fake laughter and cheer.
I'm surprised this didn't blow up.
Baby Jesus born in a manger.
Oh,
No.
my God.
Okay. I'm going to write another rap song. I can only improve on that.
I can barely
Yeah.
wait.
I'm throwing around ideas right now.
Okay.
All right. Let's see. What else? I'm going to spend more time with people I like. That's related.
That's like the opposite of
No, it's
caring less about people.
I'm going to care less about.
How long is this list?
I have one more after this. And finally, I resolved to live the best life I can now that I have COVID brain fog. Those are my resolutions.
You're so ridiculous.
Do you like them?
Oh, yes. Oh, my God. With the cough.
Sorry.
People,
it's COVID.
I have to live with this human.
All right. Do you have any resolutions?
I was not given the assignment.
The assignment?
The assignment.
Well, all right. Think about it. Is there anything you want to do this year?
To do?
Resolve? What do you resolve to do?
I did get asked to do an art show.
Are you going to do it?
I should resolve to doing some pieces for that art show.
Yeah. Okay. Are you going to do some?
Yeah.
I've been offering to set you up a dedicated art space in the basement.
You're going to
told you
me to the basement in the freezing cold.
You don't want a space down there? Okay. That's fine.
I didn't say that. I'm just saying.
All right. The last thing I have for this episode, I have predictions for 2022.
Oh, okay.
I thought deeply about what's going to happen this coming year.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I would share them.
Okay.
What do you think this year is going to bring us?
More garbage and shit.
Nothing good?
Let's see. We're getting a new niece. That'll be good.
Oh, that's good.
Hopefully, we have some things planned. I'm hoping that those will all happen.
What?
Some concerts.
No, that's not happening.
Too.
This fucking Omicron's going to fuck it all up.
Don't say that. I will cry. Our kids are supposed to go to camp.
Yeah, I think Omicron will have burned itself out by then.
Yeah, I'm pretty hopeful.
All right, you want to hear my list of predictions?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to play some mystical music. Because
that's what you do.
I tapped in to the great spirit of the universe to think about these things. Okay? First prediction.
Yeah.
This year, we will see more disclosure regarding
UAP.
unidentified aerial phenomenon and the extraterrestrials that have sent them here.
Great.
Okay? Mm-hmm. I predict we will see that. That's coming. What do you think about that? Do you think that will change anything?
Nope.
Why?
Because I don't think it's going to change anything.
Really?
We've been through this before.
Okay. I predict COVID will get worse.
Worse?
There will be a deadlier variant.
How could it get worse?
How could you even ask that question of the universe?
Ugh.
Now you've basically challenged the universe to fuck us brutally.
Okay. What else?
Thank you, Stomping Jen.
What else?
For saying to the universe, I'm going to bend over. I want you just to fucking rail me up the ass without lubrication.
What else you got?
Thank you, Jen. I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
COVID will get worse. In 2022, I predict that I will wear more cardigan sweaters.
Oh.
I've started wearing cardigan sweaters.
Well, you have one cardigan sweater.
Yeah.
Are you planning on purchasing more?
Yeah, I have my eye on another one.
Oh.
I might go buy it.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Where did you see it?
LL Bean. It's all wool. This one is not wool.
No. It's probably acrylic.
It's a synthetic blend.
Yeah. Okay.
Wool is my favorite fabric.
I know it is.
Okay. My next prediction, I only have 10. This is my fourth prediction, is the fascist Republicans will gain control of the House and Senate, setting the stage for a 2024 fascist nation state.
Lovely. That's so cheery.
I didn't say
I
these
look
were
forward
cheerful
to
predictions.
that.
Oh, here's a cheerful one. I predict in 2022, Donald Trump will die of natural causes.
That would be lovely.
Yep, it's going to happen. I predict that will happen.
Do you think he'll get convicted of anything before that happens?
Yes. You can add that as a co-prediction
Great.
to this one. Let's see.
Did you see that Elizabeth Holmes got convicted?
No, she didn't. It was a hung jury.
No.
It was a hung jury on 3 counts.
Convicted.
So for people who don't know, Elizabeth Holmes is the CEO of a company, who was the CEO of a company called Theranos. And she was heralded as somebody who was going to be the next Steve Jobs. She invented this, allegedly invented this little box that could diagnose thousands of diseases based on a single drop of blood.
It was a diagnostic machine.
Yeah, anyways, the federal government charged her with fraud.
Oh, jury deadlock. Found guilty on 4 of 11 charges. Jury could not reach verdict on 3.
Oh, okay. So
I told you she got convicted.
They found her guilty on 4 charges.
Yeah, 4 of 11.
We'll have to read more of that, about that.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
That's okay.
I just knew you were interested in the outcome.
I'll read more about that later. Okay, my 6th prediction, Stomping Jen.
Yes.
A new species of snake will be discovered in a cave or someplace.
Snake?
Yes.
Where did that come from?
I was just thinking about what might happen this year.
Oh my god. Snake?
I think a new species...
Snakes on a plane, like?
A new species of snake will be discovered.
Okay. Snakes.
My 7th prediction. I am going to walk less than I did in 2021.
Why do you think that you will walk less?
I don't know. That's just a feeling I have. 2022 is not off to a good start.
It's like we've been in for like 3 days.
Not off to a good start. And I have COVID.
Oh, boy.
I may never recover.
Oh, my God. That COVID brain fog.
I'm going to get diabetes.
No.
That's another prediction.
You're not going to get diabetes.
Let's see. My 9th prediction. Mammoths will be recreated from DNA.
Why would they?
They're close to doing it. I think this will be the year.
Why?
Because they want to unextinct a species.
Why? They're busy fucking extincting species left and right.
Well, let's bring back the mammoth.
The mammoth would not be able to survive in today's climate. It's too fucking hot.
Have you heard of a haircut?
Jesus Christ.
They shave poodles, sheep,
We're going to have
llamas.
designer mammoths now?
I'm going to be first in line for a mammoth wool cardigan.
Oh my God. What else you
Thank
got?
you very much. Finally, the podcast will end.
What?
This podcast. I predicted 2022.
Oh my gosh.
Crumple
it.
It's not ready. It's not ready
for prime time.
For anything. It's done. This experiment is over.
Ay.
And we're going to burn it out in 2022.
Right,
I'm going to sell all of this equipment. It's just over. Okay? Those are my predictions for 2022. What did you think? Do you have any predictions?
For 2022?
Yeah, for 2022.
No.
Nothing? No. Nothing at all, huh?
Mm-mm.
All right. That ends the, what did I call this? The New Year's Spectacular? What the fuck did I call it? Sawtooth
2022.
And Stomping Jen's 2022 Rollickin' New Year's Spectacular.
Rollickin' New Year's.
Shivering Jim came up with that name.
I like it.
When he was on with us for the Christmas Spectacular.
I like it. Where is he tonight?
We didn't want him tonight. It was just you and me tonight.
Oh, just
That's
you and
it.
me.
Yeah. Sometimes
is that so you can fulfill your resolution?
My more sex resolution? We did do a live sex act once on the podcast.
What?
Yeah, I forget which episode it was. I have to go back and listen to it. We could do one right now.
Okay. Nobody wants that.
Come over here.
Nobody wants that.
Whip out your COVID-infected body parts. And let's
All right, people. It's been a pleasure.
Let's get to resolving. Okay. Well, thanks for continuing to listen. Hope you enjoy this last group of episodes coming up in 2022, because this is it. And we're going to burn out sometime in 2022. Check out our website, that we spent unnecessarily huge amounts of money on for a podcast that's circling the drain.
Why do you think it's circling the drain?
And check out our podcast. Tell a friend about it.
Share it.
Download it.
Download
our episodes.
Write a review.
Subscribe.
Do all the things.
Keep asking people to write reviews. They don't do it. So there you go.
All right. You're so optimistic.
Make me happy. Write a fucking review. One positive review. We only have 26 reviews, which is a lot more than other podcasts have, actually.
Oh my God.
This is like the most fucked up medium because they're like, there's over 1 million podcasts, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and it's like you are either, how can I describe this? So only 5% of podcasts regularly get more than triple digit downloads. We're in that category, right? But that 5% of 1 million, there's so much variability in there.
Mm-hmm.
They're like podcasts like Joe Rogan's that get like 20 million downloads an episode.
Right.
Right. And then
we're not in that territory.
Then there's us.
Yeah.
Right. And then, so you have your podcasts that get like thousands of reviews. Right. And then you have your podcasts that have like dozens of reviews.
We love you anyway, people. Just keep listening.
No.
No, we don't love you.
Maybe it's this COVID brain fog that's making me feel so negative. I think we need to get you
off the air.
All right, people.
Before you crash and burn everything.
Well, happy fucking New Year.
2022.
Hope you don't get COVID like I did.
Mm-hmm. Don't go on a cruise.
Like Stomping Jen did. Don't be an idiot and go on a cruise.
Or maybe you want to.
Blah, blah, blah. Stomping Jen loves you. Take care. You want to say goodbye, Stomping Jen?
Bye now.
All right, bye.
This world of ours, ever growing smaller, must avoid becoming a community of dreadful fear and hate. Those who have freedom will understand also its heavy responsibility. That all who are insensitive to the needs of others will learn charity, and that the sources, scourges of poverty, disease, and ignorance will be made disappear from the earth. And that in the goodness of time, all peoples will come to live together in a peace guaranteed by the binding force of mutual respect and love. I shall never cease to do what little I can to help the world advance along that road.